Is having a hard time. It's struggle bus. And good morning. How are you doing? It's Kirsten Liebelt. So today is Tuesday. It is so good to have you guys here. Come on in, grab a cup of coffee. We're just going to chat for a few, and then we will move on with our day. So welcome in every day, Monday through Friday. We are here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time talking about insulin resistance. And I just can't even tell you how, I even missed you guys last week when I was out of town. It was like, I miss my people. You guys are messaging me, and it was so fun. So today, what I want to talk about, and then I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to talk about 5 supplements that help fix fatigue, inflammation, and sleep when insulin resistance is to blame. And so I wanted to just kind of bring in a little bit of help with some of the symptoms that you guys are dealing with, because these are the questions that I get over and over and over again, right? Like, I'm not sleeping. What do I do about that? I'm so super inflamed. What do I do about that? Blah, blah, blah. So I want to give you some tangible answers to that. And then I hope that'll be very helpful for you. The 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge is starting July 7th. So the 7th through the 11th. So get over with your holiday and all of your picnics and your barbecues and all of your family reunions. And then we're going to start a challenge on that Monday. Okay. So the 4th is on Friday. So the Monday after that, we are going to hit that week and recalibrate. Okay. So don't miss it. It's in the group. Ditch insulin resistance for women. I think you're just really going to love it. If you haven't done it before, you guys, people do these over and over and over again. They string together. Listen to the success principle. Listen to the people want to know, well, how can I succeed at this? And how can I succeed at that? And how come I can't seem to, make this work or you have to be willing to go on a journey and give yourself permission and string together little tiny successes, and then you'll get a big success. You have to be willing to do that. It's success principles do not change. I don't care if you're talking about a health journey we're on together, or if you're talking about building a business, success principles are all the same. So that's just how that goes. Ask me how I know. All right. So that is there. If you are still in need of, if you have, okay, I'm going to back up. Let me back up. If you have been I wanted to start the trio, but I go and I see that glucose product is out of stock, take the time to message me. I have it inventoried in my home, and I can ship it out to you, etc. Don't sabotage your efforts of wanting to take action because of something so simple, right? We have a simple answer. And then the last thing is that the end of the month is starting to come. So if you're already on that train to get $75 back into your pocket, don't miss out. 150, 150, 150, 3 months in a row, purchasing 150. That may not be your plan. That's okay. Your plan doesn't have to include this at all. Your plan can be, you want to order something small, and you can get really good shipping. If you're a registered customer, you can get $4.99 or something. It's really inexpensive. But my point being, 150, 150, 150 for those of you that are on that train, the 3rd month, and you can do it again and again and again. You can keep getting paid for your wellness. On that 3rd month, you'll get $75 taken off. You're earning back that $75, and that's a big deal. So ask me questions if you need help with that. Let's get going for today. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Very, very good to see you. So basically what I wanted to do today, I thought, what is it that people feel like maybe they, every single day I'm able to talk to you about the 3 different pillars of supplementation that I have used. I mean, this is literally my journey. I just took my journey and I put it on a little bit of a plate and I served it up. That's all I've done. I just tell you exactly what I'm doing, what I did to get to the point where I was able to lose 3 sizes in my 50s, keep it off, even though my dad was type 2, died at 63, type 2 and obesity all over my Italian family. I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. Even though I should have been the one, it should have been me that was type 2. And yet here I am, the only one in my immediate family to have avoided type 2. How did that happen? How is that true when I waited so freaking long to do anything? Well, there's a little bit of God's grace in there. I'm not going to lie. Okay, a lot. But I'm just saying, like, how did that happen? Well, it was really super simple. I teach those two things, targeted supplementation and then food ingredient trade outs. And that's in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. So basically every day I do talk about those three pillars, the trio, the gut reset protocol, and the fat burner. But today I wanted to kind of move off of that for just a half a second, not away from it. You can always ask me questions, but there are add-ons and there are reasons for add-ons, or maybe just different thought processes to help some of the symptoms that you're dealing with. I know I heard somebody today, I was listening, because I remember the days, it like brings me back to my 30s, you guys, where like I thought, like I treated ibuprofen like it was a supplement. I treated Tylenol like it was a supplement. I mean, I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm just telling you the truth. Like, I just assumed that it was God's gift to us to have ibuprofen. So if you woke up and your neck was sore, or if anything, your lower back or anything happens, you just pop ibuprofen. Why wouldn't you just have, like, you go to Costco and you get the biggest jug, right? Come on, I'm not the only one. I know I'm not. And I had to really get away from that thought process. My mother lived on Tylenol. She had hip surgeries and knee surgery and arthritis, and she just lived on Tylenol. And we just didn't know that anything really had a lot of dangers. Right? So I've had to move away from that thought process. It doesn't mean I never take something, but boy, I think twice, 3 times, 4 times before I'm going to take, just because I'm not trying to make life harder on my liver. Okay. So having said that, what she said was like, oh, I take, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen in the morning and then 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol. And I'm like, oh, I wish I would have had this information. So maybe you are where I was. And if not, and you know somebody, share this out with them. I was in my 40s and I was having all of these symptoms that I'm about to talk about here. And I didn't know how to deal with them other than just to pop ibuprofen, Tylenol, whatever the latest was, that was the fix from the store, right? So let's just do it a little differently. Now I'm super proactive. That was not me. I was not disciplined at all. I was a sugar addict and I was not disciplined. I never supplemented before, ever, any of this, like not at all. So for me, I had to become a proactive person. For me, what that looks like, just in short, like I go to the chiropractor every 2 weeks, like every 2 weeks, I have my standing appointment because I want to be proactive with my body, right? Okay, so here we go. Let's jump in, ask questions as we go if you have them. Share it out if you know somebody that needs to hear information about insulin resistance. Maybe you know somebody that's right at that precipice of perimenopause and they don't even know they're insulin resistant. Boom, it's like the perfect storm. Because insulin is a hormone. So it really messes you up. Okay. So every single thing ties back to insulin resistance. I just say this over and over and over again. It is the trunk of the tree that everything else comes off of. And so have you ever thought, I'm doing everything right, but I am still exhausted, inflamed, waking up at 2 a.m.? These seem like separate issues, but they're all actually a part of the same root cause, which is insulin resistance. This is what we talk about. But I'm going to break down 5 specific things that used to really frustrate me and then the exact supplements that I use to change the game. Now, you may already have these in your cupboard. So God bless you. Like, that's good. Okay. If you want to write down the ones that you are the most interested in and go research them, that's fantastic. If you want to write down the ones that I talk about, the ones that trigger you the most, trigger is the wrong word, pique your curiosity the most, you want to know exactly what I'm taking. As you're writing them down, when you are done, you can reach out to me, or you can say it in the comments, like on Facebook, it'll stay there, and say, I would like a cart with this one, and this one, or just this one, or this one and this one. You can customize what it is you're trying to fill in, because like I said, you might already have stuff in your cupboard. So if you want to know the ones that I'm taking, I will let you know that. I'll customize a cart for you. And so let's just move forward. So fatigue that hits like a truck. Okay, so poor glucose uptake is what's causing major fatigue in your body. No energy at the very cellular level, and your mitochondria are sluggish. Do you have any idea what the fix would be for that? Anybody? It's super interesting because it's something that I think that we know to take, but we don't necessarily connect it with glucose uptake. And that just means you're just getting it out of your bloodstream and it's going to where it needs to go, right? So vitamin D K2. You may not have known this, okay? And I always tell you, don't buy something that's synthetic. I have a very inexpensive vitamin D that is sourced from mushrooms. Like, let's just be simplistic in our lives and stop buying things that are made by pharma companies. But anyway, it's not just for bones. It supports energy production and hormone signaling. Vitamin D K2. So sometimes you're maybe getting 8 hours of sleep, but it still feels like you've been hit by a truck. Is that anybody on here today? I would love to know if that is anybody on here. And I thought I had a little piece of information here. Hold on. A little extra, read all about it on the vitamin D. Hold on. On this list that I had put together. There we go. So it helps cells. This is what vitamin D K2 does. It helps cells use insulin better. Remember, this is our conversation every day. Insulin can't get into the cell because the cell has closed the door. And when the cell has closed the door, now all of that insulin gets created higher levels, creating more inflammation, and it's going to store things as fat. It's a fat storing hormone. I'm just going to keep storing it as fat. Here we go. You're going to wonder why you got a belly. You're going to wonder why you've got back fat. You're going to wonder why you've got, this is how it goes. Fatty liver, right? So vitamin D3, K2, helps cells use insulin better. Low D is linked to higher blood sugar. Guys, listen up to this, okay? These are simple thought processes, but we don't know why. I am personally convinced that if you know why, you will be consistent. It helps cells. Okay, low D is linked to higher blood sugar and belly fat. K2 makes more calcium goes into your bones and not your arteries. Okay, so that's the vitamin D3 K2. Make sure you have a good one. If you don't, write it down. That can be a part of the cart that you're looking for. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Sharon. The whole gang is here. That is awesome. Okay, next one. All right, if you have cramps, headaches, restless legs, some of you already know the answer to this one. What's going on? Could be an electrolyte imbalance. Okay, electrolyte imbalance. I have the best testimonies ever, I swear, on the face of the planet from the magnesium that I take. I don't know what magnesium you're taking, but you want to make sure you're taking a good blend, a very good blend. Electrolyte imbalance, magnesium depletion due to poor insulin function. Do you see how this is all connected? So magnesium, you want to have this, and this is what mine is. It's a bisglycinate, a malate, a hydroxide combo. It calms and it helps muscle function support, helps you to sleep better, helps you to fill in all of those nutritional deficiencies. I'm telling you, like one testimonies is she's 75 and still works on her feet. And she said, this has literally changed my life. Meaning she was, after a couple of days of shifts, having so many cramps in her legs. And she said, they're gone. And she gets like nervous if it doesn't show up on time. Like, can you overnight me one? She gets nervous, but it's really good. So you're in bed, you're finally falling asleep and bam, you get like a foot cramp. Magnesium, but you need to have good ones that are bioavailable, okay? And I have this on there. So this is what magnesium can help you with in connection with insulin resistance. Calms cortisol, which is your stress hormone. It improves your sleep. It supports insulin sensitivity and energy production. I call this my cell repair mineral. That's what we're talking about. Cell repair mineral. So that's 2 of the 5, vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium. Are you writing these down? Are you? I'd love to know. All right. So the next one, this is the pair for the magnesium. You probably already know what it is. So waking up between 1 and 3 a.m. Nobody likes this at all. It's very frustrating. And you might think, well, this is just what it is to get older. What am I going to do? Right? Well, what's going on? Cortisol spikes due to blood sugar crashes from insulin resistance. This is why the sooner you can fix your food conversation, and we've been really talking about that a lot lately, the better, because you don't want to keep that whole insulin resistance cycle going. Because listen, cortisol spikes in the middle of the night between 1 to 3 a.m. due to blood sugar crashes, bam, due to insulin resistance. What is the fix? Does anybody know this one? I'd love to know. Good morning. How are you, Jody? Good to see you. Good to see you. Does anybody know the fix? Let's see here. It's going to be the best pairing with the magnesium. It's the ashwagandha. It's the ashwagandha. But it's an adaptogen that lowers cortisol and resets your stress response. Ooh, I love me some ashwagandha. So if you're waking up wired and your heart is racing and your brain is ready to party in the middle of the night, this is where ashwagandha comes in. So I take at night, I always take 2 of my magnesium and 2 of my ashwagandha before I go to sleep at night. And I do just want to caution people. Let's just take 1 second, okay? Supplements are not a regulated industry. And so you can really get your body into a pickle if you don't pay attention to sourcing, third-party testing, organic farming, etc. Think about it this way. If you take a field and you grow plants, okay? You grow the herb ashwagandha. You grow the plant ashwagandha. And I don't have it in front of me because I'll hold up this one. Oh, no, I do. I have one stray one. I had taken them out after my trip. Okay, so you take an ashwagandha like this, okay? And think about it in terms of like in your mind's eye, see the field that is growing the plant. See the field. Now see that field being sprayed with glyphosate. Okay, now I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just trying to I want you to be educated as to why you should make decisions a certain way. Now take that field, dry all of those plants, process them, crush them, and put them into a capsule like this. This is ashwagandha. And put it into your body and tell your liver to deal with it. Okay? Tell your body to process it. Magda knew. Good job, Magda. Okay. Thank you, Julie. Yes, I was in Denver. Can you tell? I actually, the very last day as we're at the airport, I'm like, I didn't find one. I couldn't find a Denver sweatshirt. And it was at the airport. So it was waiting for me. Who knew? So when it comes to these herbs and everything, I want you to you're going to order the Ignite, Julie. Yeah, I know, the fat burner she's talking about, you guys, that orange pixie stick. Yep. It's a good product, Julie. Make sure you measure, okay? Make sure you measure. I have my measuring tape right here, people. Make sure you measure under your bust, your waist, and your hips. Go 90 days. Take 30 days off. So the education on this is anything that, if you can't find something that's coming from organic farming, if you can't find something that is like third-party tested, because listen, they can do whatever they want when it's not regulated. And that it's a problem. They give way too high of doses sometimes, like crazy. They put all sorts of fillers in things. Sometimes it's like, it's not even clean. It's not even proper. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm really not, but you have to think about these things. Okay. So just know what you're getting. So especially when it comes to ashwagandha, but ashwagandha is a phenomenal herb. These are God's gifts to us. I'm just telling you, I'm so grateful for the adaptogenic herbs that I got myself connected to like in my middle to upper 40s. Again, if you know somebody that is in their middle to upper 40s, you are working, you have brain fog, you are not sleeping at night, your hormones are starting to go upside down, you don't understand this whole process. Maybe you're in your early 50s. I just turned 60. So anybody on here that's about 10 years my junior, right? You might be in the throes of, and what do I do about that? I'm telling you, there are very simple, streamlined answers. And I kind of, I was going to say by accident, but it was always a God thing, but just by default, like trying to fix things myself, I came up with a lot of really good answers. So I'm just telling you. So that's kind of where the ashwagandha comes in. It's really helping that cortisol spike, and it's helping your sleep cycle so that you're not waking up between 1 and 3 a.m. So that's the third one. The first one was vitamin D3K2. The next one was magnesium. And then this one was the ashwagandha. Write down whatever you're going to want me to help you with, or you want to go see if you have it yourself in your own cupboard. Okay. The fourth one is your aches, your joint pain, your puffy body. You've got inflammation. So chronic inflammation is driven by metabolic dysfunction. So it's all connected, right? All of these little tweaks and weird things going on in our body, or that high inflammation, it's all freaking connected. You are like perfectly and wonderfully made. You're like, everything is woven together. It's all connected. These are not separate issues that you're trying to put separate Band-Aids on. We have to get rid of that mindset. Let's get the axe to the root of the tree. Let's get the axe to the root. Okay, let's do that. So chronic inflammation is driven by metabolic dysfunction, and a good fix for this is turmeric. I know you guys probably knew that one, but the turmeric that I do take myself, it has fenugreek in it, and that helps with the absorption. So you may not know this at all because turmeric is talked about all the time, but most of the turmerics that are on the market, they're not absorbable. You're not even getting them into your system. It's not a very easy herb to get into your system. You may or may not know that. Okay. So when the one that I take, yes, I do have it right here. Funny. I usually don't have that in because I was traveling. I put everything in my one little case, and don't mind me. It's the way my brain works. Okay. No judging, no judging. So this is the turmeric, and this is 45 times more absorbable than other turmerics that are on the market. And what's really interesting about this is that they actually put for pain and discomfort? Pain and discomfort from exercising, I think they put on the bottle, which is highly, 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 highly unusual, because you have to be careful of that P word from a company's perspective. But that's just how much this works. They can actually make that claim. I'm just saying. So I know people who use that instead of their IB. For me, that rings true to me because I needed to stop the IB train. That was like, I honestly didn't understand why you wouldn't have the largest bottle from Costco. I didn't understand that at all. So basically then turmeric calms inflammation. It supports insulin sensitivity. So let's say your rings are tight, your knees ache. You say, this must be just getting older, but it's not. It's not. So fights inflammation, supports liver detox, and improves insulin sensitivity. The fenugreek helps your body actually use the turmeric. It's the whole point. And it's also known to help regulate blood sugar. Do you understand? Every single thing, you guys, I say it all the time. Everything I talk to you about is connected to insulin resistance and helps you for insulin sensitivity. As far as I'm concerned, in my own little teeny tiny world, if you will just pay attention to insulin resistance every time you take a supplement and every time you put food into your mouth, you will have clearer understanding and you will go the distance. You will go the distance. Remember, I said yesterday, the story isn't that I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. The story is that I lost 3 sizes in my 50s and I kept it off. Because nobody wants something that's going to boomerang back. You guys want to know how to fish. I know you do. I know you want to know how to fish, how to go the distance, how to give yourself permission for the journey, how to give yourself permission to invest in yourself. Finally, so that you can actually enjoy your life and make the memories that you want to make. I know you do. All right. Next one. So that was the turmeric. And the last one is this one. Now, this one's it's a little controversial. And the reason why that is I'm convinced that it's because of the processing of this particular supplement. I'm convinced that people do it poorly. This is why there's controversy on it. And this is why you have a really, 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 really hard time finding anyone that actually is not rancid. Okay. So you have to know what you're getting, and it's fish oil. Okay. So fish oil hormones can shift without micronutrient support. Insulin resistance blocks your fat loss. Why aren't you losing fat? This is what you should say to yourself all the time. So why am I not losing fat? Oh, I think it's because my insulin is high. My insulin resistance is blocking my fat loss. I should probably do something about that because I'm really interested in losing fat. I'm just telling you. That's just a thought process, right? So the fix, there's the fish oil. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation and improve insulin receptor sensitivity. So maybe you're eating clean, you're exercising, but the scale won't budge and you're bloated by noon, okay? And we know that we have so much inflammation in our gut. That's why we talk about the gut primer. Remember, I'm not actually going through these right now, but we talk about the gut primer to take down the inflammation in your gut. The fish oil would be an add-on. But again, I just happen to know the level of purity in the harvesting and the packaging and all of those pieces in the fish oil that I take. Might be a really good one for you to ask about. Fish oil can lower inflammation, support insulin signaling, and help reduce liver fat. You can take this for brain and metabolic health. Okay, so those are the 5. Which one? Do you have a question about any one of those 5? I'll list them again here for you just so that you have them as a basis of conversation for yourself. So the first one that we talked about was D3 and K2. The one that I take is sourced from mushrooms. The second one was, what was the second one? Magnesium. My magnesium, the one that I take is a triple blend, and it has an extract for your heart, an olive leaf extract for your heart. So that triple blend is amazing for your sleep, for any cramps, muscle issues, like indigestion, digestion, like those 3 blends are good for all of that. Then ashwagandha, which is an adaptogenic herb that's going to help you with your cortisol. Adaptogenic herbs help your body adapt to stress. So I learned a lot of that when I was working with a naturopath. She was amazing. And so adaptogenic herbs help your body adapt to stress. And that's a big reason why you might be spiking your cortisol between 1 and 3 a.m. And it's causing blood sugar because your blood sugar is crashing, your cortisol is going up. You've got this whole connection. Remember, we talk about cortisol and insulin belly, cortisol and insulin belly. So ashwagandha is number 3. Number 4 was turmeric. And that's because so much insulin causes so much inflammation. So you're spiking your sugars. Your pancreas is releasing insulin to go get the sugar to bring it into your cell for fuel. But your cell closed the door, said, nope, changed the lock. You're like, dang it. And so now all of your body says, I should probably make more insulin. I must not have done enough. I'm going to do more. So it's going to release more and more insulin. And in the meantime, all of that extra sugar that was supposed to go into the cell for fuel leaves you exhausted because it can't get in, and it gets stored as fat because that's what insulin does. It's a fat storing hormone. So you have this whole it's a very bioavailable. Julie, thank you for the question. She's asking about the magnesium. It's highly bioavailable. It's marine sourced. So that's a very good question. And the bisglycinate in there. Yep. Super yummy. But you don't want your cell to be closed and then everything is being stored as fat because, okay, yeah. Belly fat is annoying. Yeah. Okay. Back fat, it's annoying. Yeah. But fatty liver, you probably don't even know you have it. That's the issue that we have. There are all of these things happening that we don't have any symptoms to. But as a friend, having a cup of coffee with you and not a doctor, it's almost a guarantee. almost, that if you're insulin resistant, you have like fatty liver very close by, because that's what's creating it. Insulin resistance is creating the visceral fat. Okay, so that's why. So the turmeric, and then the last one was the fish oil. And again, when I go to buy shrimp or fish, I buy wild caught. That's what I do. So make sure that the fish oil you have up in your cupboard is wild caught. Why would you take a potent pill, a condensed, concentrated pill of anything, an herb, a fish oil, anything, and it's not wild caught? It's not from organic farms. It has glyphosate. Why would you do that? So you don't have to get anything from me. You just need to make sure you're educated enough to, when you are on Amazon, like the rest of the freaking world, and you're grabbing stuff, just make sure that you're paying attention, right? Now, on the other hand, if you are adding any of these things too, I talk about the trio, the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. That's where I started, those 3. If you're using the trio, if you're doing the gut reset protocol, which is the primer and the probiotic, if you're using the fat burner, that's what Julie was talking about, the Ignite here. If you're using this, if you're wanting to get the most bang for your buck, if you're looking to, listen, I've given myself permission to invest in myself, but my HSA doesn't cover it. My insurance doesn't help me out. I don't want to fill a prescription for vitamin D because I know who's making it. Not interested in their little PHARMA supplements. If that's you and you want to get the most out of everything you're doing, put everything under one umbrella. Make this super easy for yourself. And then like cash in on the customer campaign, 150, 150, 150 for 3 months in a row. 150, 150, 150, June, July, August, $75 off your order. September, October, November, $75 off your order. December, January, February, $75 off your, do you understand? Like I've never seen anybody do that. So your HSA won't give you that. An insurance company won't give you that. This is way more than like, you fill out for your corporate job, all of the, you did all this walking or whatever, and you get a $10 Starbucks gift card or something, This is way, way better. This is like, you're going to feel that help. You're going to feel like you're doing something and you're like squeezing the most out of the opportunity. Okay. So you can always ask me if you have questions on that one. List the 5 one more time. Okay. I will do that. The bisglycinate, Julie, is for that really helps with sleep and calming your nervous system. So for me, I could take magnesium in the morning, but I take my magnesium at night because I want everything to kind of go. So I take my magnesium and my ashwagandha both at night. Okay. So that's what that does. I will list the 5 one more time. Number 1. Hold on. Vitamin D, K2. Vitamin D3, K2. All right. That is going to, in fact, here, I'm going to pull it up on here. Make this very fast for you. So vitamin D3, K2 helps cells use insulin better. Low D is actually linked to high blood sugar and belly fat. K2 makes sure that calcium goes to the bones and not the arteries. Number 2, magnesium. Magnesium calms cortisol, which is your stress hormone, improves sleep, supports insulin sensitivity and energy production. I call this my cell repair mineral. I'm reading right off of my website, my full list, okay? So if you don't catch everything I'm saying, you can always go to my first and last name.com and look at the full list and swipe up and you'll see what I'm talking about. The magnesium calms cortisol, improves sleep, supports insulin sensitivity and energy production. The third one is ashwagandha, which is an adaptogenic herb. It helps to lower stress and stabilize your blood sugar, especially overnight. I take this to support better sleep and smoother mornings. That is exactly what I do. I love it. Turmeric is number 4, fights inflammation and supports liver detox, improves insulin sensitivity. The one that I have, I'm speaking all about the specifically like the blend that I have. support sleep. If you go out and you get a magnesium citrate, it's not going to support your sleep. But you will go to the bathroom. You'll be in the restroom. It's a little bit of something that they give you like before colonoscopy. So you do want to make sure you know what you're doing. That's for sure. So everything I'm talking about is obviously what I take. This one is mixed with fenugreek, and fenugreek helps your body actually use the turmeric. So it's like it's a transporter to get it into your system. But it's also known to help regulate blood sugar. That's what fenugreek can help with. And then the very last one is fish oil. This is wild caught, of course. I would not tell you to do something and then not offer you what I'm talking about. Lowers inflammation, supports insulin signaling, and helps reduce liver fat. I take this for brain and metabolic health. So those are the 5. And again, when you begin to layer, when you begin to understand, like instead of going, well, I just saw this ad, so now I'm taking this gummy, and then I went to Costco and they were sampling me this, so I grabbed that. And now you've got this basket filled with supplements. You have no idea why you have them. You don't know why you're taking them. You feel like all you've done is spend money, and you kind of then don't put the effort towards a routine. You don't put the effort towards consistency because you're like, I don't know. I just bought it because I don't know. I thought it was a good idea at the time. That doesn't help you, right? But if you can actually understand, oh, this one helps with insulin sensitivity. Oh, and then this one, and then this one, and then, oh, I'm going to layer, and I'm going to create this like customized routine for myself. And I'm going to just keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. It's a different thought process completely. So I hope that helped. Hi, Patty. Good to see you. Very good to see you. D3 is 500 IU. How much do I take at night? The magnesium, good question. I think the magnesium is 400 milligrams between the two. And the ashwagandha, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Let me look it up. Let me look it up for you, Julie. Let me see here. My washing machine is singing to me. It's singing to me. And just remember too, I'm going to say this. Let's see, how can I say this? We get a lot of conflicting information about how much to take, et cetera, on different things. And I've looked on Amazon and I've seen how sometimes they're like, we have this bigger is better mentality or more is better mentality. And I guess sometimes that can be true, right? But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you don't have all of the scientists backing the understanding of, let's just take this at levels that are safe for your organs. And so I don't want you to always have that thought process that bigger is better, more is better. Oh, look at that high dose they're offering. You need to have caution in your universe. I'm just telling you, it's unregulated in the United States of America as an industry. And there are a lot of countries that don't have the things that we have available to us. So just know that you need good, reliable sources to get things from. All right. The D3K2, one a day, that is 1,000 IUs. So you can take more if you want more. Mine is like 30 cents a day sourced from mushrooms, and it's a 90-day supply. So you can easily double up on that if you want more IUs of that. That's the D. The magnesium, I believe it's 200. And I'm not on my site. I am not talking about the CalMag D. Okay, I'm talking about the one that launched in March. Know the difference. I'm not talking about the CalMag D. You can look at that yourself if you want to. I'm talking about just the straight magnesium. It's the triple blend, okay? And let me look at that one. That one is 2 capsules is 200 milligrams. And it's a bisglycinate, chelate, magnesium hydroxide, and dimagnesium malate. And then it has an olive extract. It's amazing. Was there another one that you asked about? I think those were the 3 that you were talking about. 2 that you were talking about. If anybody has another question on that, you can let me know. But otherwise, I think I answered that. And do I have questions over here? You guys see, look at me wearing light colors. Is this for severe insulin dependent of 36 years? You know, Beth, That's a really good question. And thank you for asking that. I think that there are many layers. And so this is how I talk about insulin resistance from my own just universe and experience, whatever research. Like the autism spectrum, there's a spectrum for insulin resistance. Somebody is metabolically barely dysfunctional, and then somebody might be metabolically very dysfunctional. Barely, very. And everybody is just a little different. Okay. So everybody has to know that and understand that turning the ship might be more of a effort for one person than it is for another. Now, having said that, layering your thought processes are very important. You cannot out supplement a really bad diet. Okay. So nobody should ever be confused. I'm just going to take a bunch of supplements and keep on eating like I am. That's not realistic, right? So I'm Italian. Nobody understands this probably equally to me, but not more than me. Because I know what it's like to have emotional connections to food, mental blockages, stories that are in your head from your childhood. I get all of this. This is why I teach the food component inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, because you have to change what got you into the pickle to begin with. And so I want everybody to be very realistic. However, the beauty is, number one, this is not a terminal diagnosis, even though my dad died at 63. So I guess it was terminal for him, but it never had to be, right? I'm 60 now, so that was really young. You know what I mean? Anyway, point being that it's not a terminal diagnosis and it can be turned around. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. Go look up Dr. Ken Berry, Berry. Go look up Maria Emmerich. She's a nutritionist. Go look up Dr. Eric Berg, Dr. Kilt. He's a fertility doctor out of New York. Go look up people who have credibility in the reversal conversation. Okay. It's 100% reversible. Now, the second beautiful thing, other than it being reversible, is that you have the control to layer what you want to layer. So you guys crush my timeline. It took me 3 to 4 years just to trade out my foods because I was a turtle. But you guys come in, you hear my content, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run with what she's saying. Some of you start with all of the targeted supplementation and then you trade out your foods. Some of you trade out your foods and then you go on into the targeted supplementation because you want to accelerate your results. Everybody's a little different. It's okay, right? Let's start where you are in your head. But the food was the hardest for me. So 36 years, insulin dependent. You know what? That's where my dad was, right? He ended up with a lot of heart surgeries and kidney dialysis, et cetera. So everybody's going to be different. And your ship might be a little tiny little tugboat, or it might be like the cruise I was on when we went into Glacier Bay in Alaska, and it turns on a dime and you barely even know it's turning. But it's such a big ship and it can't make hardly any movement because it has to go so slowly not to disrupt the glaciers or the bald eagles or anything in there. Only you know what your body is doing, okay? But both of you, tugboat or ship, you have to give yourself permission for the journey. And you have to say, I want to know where I'm going to, I want to be able to look back a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now and say, dang, I'm so glad that I started. I'm so glad that I stopped shaming myself. I'm so glad that I stopped telling myself that it was too hard, that I couldn't do it, that I was such a loser, that this was just genetic and there was nothing I could do. But I'm so glad I shut those voices off. So that's a long answer to say, yeah, everything is for everybody. But there is a layering thought process that you have to take for your own journey. And you have to just recognize that, sure, you can take everything I just talked about, but will that fix? It's going to take time, and it's going to take probably a little customization of your life. You know what I mean? Good morning, Patty. Good to see you. I've got 2 Patties on this morning. Let me see here, because I apologize. I'm just going to wear light colors in the summer. It's the way that it is. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I hope that answered your question. Okay, Beth, you go to work, and you know what? Just reach out to me. You can text me. I put the text over here on my Facebook, but not on my. I should put that in my description, but you can always go to my profile right up there. You click on my face and get to my profile. There's a phone number there for you to text. You can message me right on TikTok. Anybody can ask me any questions and we will take it from there. Much of your issues have been severe depression, so addicted to sugar, but pretended not to be. You know what, Beth? You are not alone. I literally just posted in my stories yesterday, somebody saying, I didn't realize I was such a sugar addict and until I started monitoring myself. And again, before you go to work, stop shaming yourself. This is not, yesterday we talked about this. This is not a character conversation. You're such a loser, addicted, blah, blah, blah. This is a chemistry conversation. It's not character, chemistry. And so therefore you can address it like the chemistry conversation that it is and have no shame about changing what's going on. Okay? Like your body is in motion. It's in motion to constantly protect itself and to constantly fight for function. So every single one of you that you start on the trio, you start on the gut reset protocol, you start on the fat burner, every single one of you that does that, you're opening up the hood of your car and you're saying, okay, listen, I know I haven't changed your oil for 100,000 miles, but here we go. We're going to get you to function again. We're going to stop what got us into the pickle to begin with, and we are going to actually get this. We're going to clean up the oil. We're going to change the filter. We're going to rev up that engine. We're going to tighten all the nuts and the bolts. We're going to do all of the things, and we're going to get you functioning again, just like somebody restores an old vehicle. Not saying we're old. I'm not old. It's not me. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that's what you're doing with the supplementation. That's why the targeting and being so specific is so important, and not just throwing spaghetti at the wall saying, well, I don't know. I got a girlfriend that she lives down the street. She bought this off of Amazon and I saw this Facebook ad and blah, blah, blah. Stop. You won't stick with something you don't understand. I'm not trying to declare that over anybody. I'm just saying we do not stick to a long journey. If at any point we go, I have no idea why I'm doing this anyway, just screw it. Come on. Am I the only one? I don't think so. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys today. And if you have any need for any of those 5, just reach out to me or put it in the comments below. I can put a cart together for you, whether it's 1, 3, 5, all 5 of them. I'll customize, put your pretty little name on it, and I'll get that to you so that we can move forward in that arena. Tomorrow, I'll be back at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time right here talking about insulin resistance. And if you need to know the name of the group, I'll say it slowly. Ditch insulin resistance for women. You recently realized that you do have opportunity since no ramifications of this rebel spirit. Praise God. That's right. No shame. Good. Just the very lie saying that sugar saves my life. You are such an answer to prayer. I'm so glad, Beth. You know what? We've all got lies in our brain. When I started to actually take the time to self-assess, that's when I started to win. When I took the time to stop beating myself up for the things that I was told as a little girl, some people, it was the clean plate club. Some people, it was, for me, it was, manja, you eat, you show respect for the people that made you the food. But then when you gained weight, you were like, you should probably lose a few pounds. And then when I lost weight, it was the year that my dad died. I lost a bunch of weight that year. Oh, don't you get too skinny now. I mean, all of those messages, I don't have any ill will. I'm not saying that. I don't hold unforgiveness at all. I mean, this was just culture. This is just normal, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I had to recognize that it was still running around in my brain. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think this, shut up. Bam, go away, get out of here. And I had to shut down those things that were holding me back because it rattles around inside of us. So anyway, so there you go. No shame. That's wonderful. I love that very, very much. All right. Have the best day ever on the face of the planet. And I will see you tomorrow at 11. If you need anything, let me know. just reach out. Don't self-sabotage today. See ya.